I'll be showing you how to farm a lot of blood fruit in Booga Booga Reborn. First up that you need is you want to have a farm like this. The tutorial on how to make this farm will be in the link in the description. It will be made by another YouTuber and not by me. You may want to adjust a few things in the farm, such as making this gap right here a bit smaller, so that will be easier to walk into, changing some of the walls to fit your personal preference, and that'll be about it. Next thing you will be needing is TinyTask, and you want to just download that by searching TinyTask in your web browser and clicking on the first link. TinyTask will look something like this on the top, and you want to click Preferences, and this will bring you a drop-down menu with all the settings that there will be needing. So once you click that, you want to have your play speed at 1x, and you do not want to set continuous playback on. You want to set the playback loops to 9999, something higher than 1000. This is because if you have continuous playback on, it should go on infinitely, but it will glitch out sometimes and play a loop even if it's not playing your recording. So it'll just play ghost loops basically. You want to also have always on top, checked out, show captions, and use default toolbar. That is all you'll need for TinyTask, and you also want to have your recording hotkey set to F8 and your playback hotkey set to Control Shift Alt P. This should be default already for you. Next thing you want to do is you want to get inside your corner and you want to get yourself lined up with the farm that you just built. You could build this anywhere. I built it at Ice. You could build it at Blood Farm. You need around 400 farms to make a perfect loop of blood, so that when you finish collecting all of this or planting all of this, when you get back around, it'll start growing again, so you can plant and collect at the same time. So after you build the farm, you need to plant the farm full of blood fruit to do this method I'm going to show you. Like I said, get inside the corner right here and you want to line yourself up with the farm. So how you do this is we're going to line up our perspective first. To get the desired perspective, you want to go into first person first and then scroll out 12 to 13 times. Usually I could just eyeball it and get around this perspective right here. You could set it to whatever you like. You could set it up to close, far, anything, as long as it reaches the blood fruit here. I just like 12 or 13 times out personally. Now that you have this, you want to aim. You want to use hold right click to aim at this plant box right here, and you want to aim at this line where the wood and the dirt meet. You want to just keep on adjusting it up or down to the point where when you aim at the line, it'll highlight the plant box. So right here I have it, and this is set to, if I aim at the line or somewhere near the line, it will highlight the plant box, but if I aim at the wood, it won't. This is good. Now if you haven't already planted it, you can line yourself up using your first row of plant boxes, but I already planted, so it'll be a little hard lining up. How you line up with the farms is you want to go to an empty row of plant boxes, and you want to go into first person, and if I just walk right now, you can see that my mouse is sliding left. This is not good because when I'm planting my blood fruit, it will move my mouse off of the blood fruit and I will go spiraling off into space. That is why I've built the walls here as well. So how you get this lined up is you want to go into first person, and you want to aim at the little part where the wood and the dirt intersect again. And you want to keep on holding W, and you do not want to shake your mouse up or down, because this will just ruin the perspective that you just got. You want to only move your mouse left and right. So you want to hold W, move your mouse left and right until it goes perfectly parallel with the farm. As you can see, it's not moving at all. It's following the farm perfectly. After you get the perfect mouse placement, you want to scroll out 12 or 13 times or to your desired perspective. And I like this, so you want to go back into your corner. And after you've done that, you want to have an auto clicker if you don't already, but this auto clicker will have to be started by a keyboard keybind. What this is any key on your keyboard that starts the auto clicker. If you have something like Razer Synapse where it uses the buttons on your mouse to start the auto clicker, that will not work, or at least in my personal experience it will not. So I downloaded Speed Auto Clicker. You can use any other clicker that you like as long as it gets started with keyboard keybind, and I set my keybind to insert, and that is what my auto clicker will be. Next thing you want to do is you want to hit your recording hotkey, in this case is F8, and this will start Tiny Task up. This is a very important step right here to avoid bugs, glitches, and to make your farming experience as reliable as possible. Before you start though, you want to have a good amount of food. In this case, I'm using lemons. You could use any food that you like. You can even eat the blood fruit that you're farming to get your food up. You want to start your farming by having your food all the way up, using whatever that you like. I prefer lemons because I farm lemons for logs. And now that you got this, you want to go into the very corner right here, and you want to press F8. You want to click back onto Roblox anywhere on the screen, spin your mouse a bit, and aim at the middle of the blood fruit bush. You want to start your auto clicker, hold F, and then start walking by holding W. And now you're set to go, and this will just continue for the next couple of rows. This strategy does not require you to turn your mouse using right click, so you could just keep on holding W and it'll be fine. This is a very important part. When you get to the wall, keep on holding W a bit to prevent a lag back, and get to this wall. Swing your mouse back and make sure that it plants in that plant box. Hold F again and keep on going like this. This backwards part, some people mess up because you forget to go backwards or point your mouse backwards, but you need to point your mouse behind you, like I am right now, to start planting and collecting at the same time. Now that you reach this, hold S to prevent lag back, go to the wall, swing your mouse forward, hold F, keep on walking again. Now this strategy should be 2 times more efficient as some other strategies with the same farm, because they want you to plant and then go back around to the starting point and then harvest at a different time. Right now what I'm doing is I'm planting and harvesting at the same time, which in theory should be 2 times more efficient. Now this video was purposely made by the request of INQ_souls. Want to keep on going like this. Now this is just on personal preference, but in a second you will see the blood fruit on the left growing, and that will mean that you have an infinite looping blood fruit farm. You can make this farm as big as you want, but I just like it to have around 400 plant boxes, which is pretty good. Right here I have 8 rows of 50, I believe, but you can have 2 rows of 200, 4 rows of 100, anything that has at least 400 farms. That will make the perfect amount of farms to make an infinite loop. You want to just keep on continuing to farm. And it's okay if you mess up the first time, practice makes perfect. This took me a lot of tries to get, and a lot of videos don't explain that you actually have to do a lot of thinking by yourself and tweaking, because no farm or tutorial will be perfect, and you need to adjust to your personal settings. I'm just here to give you a basic guideline, and now here you're on your last row. You want to keep on heading back, and your last row will have to be going backwards. This will make you go to your starting point. As you can see on the left, the blood fruit is already starting to grow, and now I'll reach the end. When you do reach the end, you want to keep on holding F, S, and your auto clicker on. Once you reach the wall, stop your auto clicker and move left by pressing A, and you want to get inside this corner, move forward, keep on holding W to prevent lag, go inside your starting corner. You want to open your menu. If you're not already on the food menu, you could click on the food icon. Eat 4 lemons is what I recommend, and then press F8 again. When you close your menu and you move your mouse anywhere, you can move it to anywhere on the screen, and that'll be okay. Another good thing to have is, before doing all of this, you will need to have your graphics quality all the way down, and to have shift lock off. You need to have shift lock off. This is very important because the keybind that I just told you to use for playback on Tiny Task has shift in it. So if you press shift lock, then it will mess everything up. You can obviously change your playback keybind to anything that you like, but I just recommend the control shift alt plus P. Now that you have your recording, you can go to the corner and start it, but I'm just going to explain a few more things. You have to have a lot more lemons. I do recommend keeping your menu on, just so that you don't have to press C and have that fail, or have the chance of that failing. So, and I do recommend, if it's your first time or something, I do recommend you not having anything on you. Like, I have God armor and everything, because this is just, when you're doing this for your first time, you may die somewhere in your recording. What this means is when you start your recording and it starts doing a few loops, it seems like it will be okay, but there has been some glitches in the past where it will just either make you miss you clicking the food, so that you'll eventually starve of hunger and die and lose all your stuff. That's not really nice. So I do recommend you start farming if you like died in a god fight or anything like that. But it's all okay. And it's just a quick tip. Now that you have this, I'm going to demonstrate if this farm actually works. I'm going to press my my playback hotkey, sorry, Control Shift Alt P. It'll do what I just did, spin my mouse around, and obviously it will be a bit slow right here because I am doing this for recording purposes. And there it goes. Now it should do exactly what I told it to. Now, the reason why it was headbutting itself into that wall for so long is because I made it hold W. And if you didn't see, I just missed a plant box, and that is completely okay. You do not need to worry about that whatsoever. That will not ruin your whole entire farm. It is completely fine. That is not a worry. Now on again with the why I'm having my account go into the wall so much. This is because to prevent lag. Sometimes when you lag, you get teleported back, which then ruins the tiny task's movement and it won't move forward. So let's say if I reach the end of this wall and I didn't hold W and it lags me back, I will just automatically start going right and then I won't reach the end right here. That is why I have you hold it. And if you can go back into the video, I missed the starting blood fruit. This is very bad since of when we get back around, I'll show you. Hold S, prevent lag. Swing your mouse forward. Another reminder is, if you're starting off with 0 blood, that is not good. You need at least 400 or enough to fill the entire plant boxes area. So that one farm that was missed next to that wall on my left, that is not good, and I just missed another one. Now, you do not want to miss the starting plant box because that is where you start holding F to harvest. If you miss that, it will not harvest the whole entire row of blood fruit. And every single time you switch rows, which I'm about to do in a few seconds here, you want to let go of F and then move to your right or left and start holding F on the new blood fruit. This will make sure that even if you do mess up your picking up the blood fruit or harvesting, then it will just reharvest again. Obviously, this does take a couple of tries to perfect. It does not matter if you get it on your first try or not. On average, this farm makes 200,000 per night, and I say per night as in 12 hours. Obviously, you can AFK as long as you like. Now, it will go again, and at this point, you do not need to watch the video anymore. I'm just going to show you if this farm actually works or not. It's going to see me opening the toolbar, It's going to, or sorry, my inventory. It's going to eat the lemons, and it is now done with one loop. If you could look at my tiny task, the number next to the amount of loops and the timer has now been set from 1 to 2. And now it's on its second loop, and it will start planting and going through that process all over again. Now, of course, if you're having any trouble with this, I could comment and teach you, or I could respond in the comment section, give you any more tips on this, because this could be quite tricky for some beginners. If you do go into Booga Booga, you will see a lot of people complaining about how Tiny Task is so hard to use, and you might as well use scripts. Scripts and Tiny Task, they make about the same amount of blood, because theoretically, there's a limit on how much blood you can make per hour, since of your walk speed cap. You cannot make yourself go slow or go faster than the normal default walking speed. Unless you're using hacks, then well, it is what it is. So here you will see that I will start just yeah, there we go. That's what I was talking about. I will not harvest this since I did not plant in the starting plant box. Now this is a huge problem because yeah, as you can see, I'm missing a whole row of blood fruit right here, which is quite unfortunate. And that is why you also need to make sure that the starting plant box on the very left, the plant box that you start planting with, your first ever plant box, you need to have that filled off with blood, because if you don't, it'll miss the F hotkey, or sorry, it'll miss the harvesting, which is F, and your whole entire first row will be kind of messed up because it'll just stay there without being harvested. And here's another. As you can see, I planted it that time, and yeah, Tiny Task is a bit buggy. Depends on how laggy you are, how good your Wi-Fi is, and where your server location is. Obviously, you want to do this in a private server for the best results, because less players, less lag, less things you need to load, and you also want to have nothing on your computer, right, as if you're farming, to reduce the amount of stress that your computer has to go through and the amount of tasks that are running. So for example, if you have Chrome allocates a lot of RAM, and basically that means that it uses a shitload of your computer's core things like memory, CPU, something like that. So you want to close anything else. You want to only have Roblox and your auto clicker and Tiny Task. That is all you need. Now I have done 2 laps so far, and I have missed 2 rows of blood fruit. This is quite unfortunate, but as you can see, it was a bit wonky because I had to record at the same time. Here I'll walk to the wall, keep on walking left, keep on walking forward, and then I'll get to my original starting point. Now this will just keep on going for as long as you set it to. If you set it to 100 loops, it'll do 100 loops. Set it to 2,000 loops, it'll do 2,000 loops, eventually. So you can make this as long as you want, or as in, like, you can make it as many plant boxes, but it's just no need. You only need 400, and that's all you need. So, that'll be it. This is all you need. As you can see, I already farmed up 444,000. I ate a lot of it in fights, obviously, but I already farmed a lot in just 2 days. It's pretty good. This is pretty fast. It's better than those other methods that you've seen where it just tells you to stand still and slowly plant like that, and that only makes you very slowly amount. This is way better, and I hope that this helped you. Alright, this is very confusing to do for some people. Well, have a good day. Pretty good.